babies.
Boys?
Hey, Rich.
Richard, Billiam, how are you?
Wow, you know what's interesting, and maybe Zoom has just made a conscious decision on their own, but I know it's all different for different screens here where people are placed. I know I'm always in the top corner because I am God, but
God, yes, God.
Generally, whoever gets clicked first gets up on the top with me, and then the other person's relegated to the bottom. However, Bill was clicked first this time because he was the first one in, but just by a millisecond, and then I clicked Ray, but on my screen, Ray is on the top. So Zoom may have just said trash cans belong on the bottom no matter when you're clicked.
I'm God's right-hand man.
I mean, on my screen, Ray's always on the bottom.
You know what, Bill? On my screen, you're always on top because I like to look at you in those baby blues.
Nice. 1-0 sucks.
That's sweet.
He doesn't even, I thought he was saying nice for my compliment. No, he just cares about the socks.
Not paying attention. Just thinking about the
Big
bottom
series.
comment.
It's a good series.
Interrupted my mother joke, so whatever.
It's Ray's fault.
I
It's
know.
always his fault.
I know. I watched our live show. If people don't know, our show goes live, quote unquote. It's like sitcoms when they're said they're live. It's recorded live.
Yeah, for sure.
And then it's edited. It's like Seinfeld. Our show goes live every weekday around 6:30 or so, depending on when I get my shit done. And today it was around 6:30, and I watched it. And Bill, I really enjoyed the show today.
It was good. You know, it was. I mean, smooth. I liked it. It had good flow. Nothing but sports.
It was a Fat Tuesday show. Just so happened Ray wasn't there. I don't know if that has anything to do with it. Might have just been the subject. I'm not saying anything negative against you, bottom of the totem pole of dumb. Just it was a nice, smooth running show.
I enjoyed your Father's Day take.
Yeah,
I did because that's all I ever want.
Just to be left alone. That's all I wanted my whole life.
I think
I don't even have kids. Just leave me alone.
I was listening to it today and I was giggling.
I think that's what everybody wants all the time.
Mm-hmm.
All the time. Bill, thanks for the questions for this one. Appreciate it. I assume you'll chime in when needed, please, Queen.
You got it.
I can't believe he allows us to wear hats on the program, Ray. Like just the disrespect we show is just. Remove your tops. Sorry, Queen.
Sorry,
I do want you guys to bow to me every time I get on this chat. Their Zoom call, I should say.
A fine curtsy.
Yeah.
Lady.
Thank you.
Queen. Your Majesty.
All right, hold on.
Thanks again for bringing the
ready.
Wow, she's already connected everything.
Wow, look at you.
Really?
Pros. Yeah, pros.
Fast. Every other guest we have just takes 10 minutes to come on.
Oh, but we can't hear her.
But you can't hear you, so you're muted. Oh,
too much credit. Not
too
a
much
pro.
credit right away.
Nope. Oh, we're taking all the credit back. It's all gone. Oh, she's giggling.
I'm pretty sure she can hear everything we're saying. She just...
Oh, connecting. Now she's connected.
Oh, there we go.
Oh, it wasn't a game.
No
it
more
wasn't
credit.
a game.
No more credit.
You're like finishing a conversation. I was like, all right, I'll hang out. Oh, wait.
Oh, you can hear us.
Jump in anytime.
Yeah. Sorry about that. And then I saw Bill Gately, and you were wearing a Barstool shirt, and I was like, oh, maybe he's their featured guest before me.
Yeah, thank you.
That was rough, and I couldn't find it.
It just happens to be my sweatshirt of the day. Nice.
Yeah.
It's with summer sweatshirt.
I don't
wow.
like it.
Well,
you guys have lots of themes in the background.
Either, yeah,
jealous.
We win championships. We're sorry around here. You know?
I know.
Whether that was a tactic or not, that was well played. We just sat here and talked, and you just watched her just shoot. Like it was like she walked into a habitat and had to really get a good surrounding of what she was about to
She saw
get
those
into.
zoo animals she didn't want to see, and she's like, God damn it, I don't want to do this.
These guys are idiots.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. No. No, it's funny. I was gonna call my Aunt Dolly because she's born and raised in South. She's a Southie. I can't even pronounce it.
Ooh.
And
she knew Whitey, of course.
What's that?
Did she know Whitey Bulger?
Oh.
I'm sorry. I'm
That's
failing.
not going to go over well.
Wow.
I
You might
don't
need
have
to talk to your
it,
Aunt Dottie a little more.
but she I remember last time I saw her, I was like, it was like when the Clippers were like doing the whole Lob City thing and we were almost going to win a championship and we didn't.
Almost doesn't count. Only in horseshoes.
We should have. And we
Yeah.
beat the Celtics and I was at her house and I started giving her a bunch of shit and she just looked at me and my dad was like, leave the room. Leave the room. And I'm surprised I didn't have to sleep outside because that's when I really saw.
There you go. Well, yeah, she knew Whitey. That
Man.
was the was the
she
sign.
knows Whitey.
It's
Yeah.
like, hey,
Yeah.
Marina,
Triple O's.
She knows Whitey.
She's probably freaking triple O's a lot.
Mhm.
No one knows Bill. That's actually a little bit more Bill's category than ours. We call him the trash can for a reason. Listen, Marina, thank you for joining us with us now. We always do intros great, but Marina Paul, I don't know what title you're going by at this point. Founder, athlete, author is what we want to talk about of the new book, Becoming a Superhero, Awaken Your Superpowers and Inspire the Magic in Others, which is we've interviewed quite a few authors on here and might be the most like just at the title inspiring title that we've got. And everyone goes for it. And I think that one might take the cake.
Well, I definitely certainly had the best entrance into this podcast. So
Yeah, 1,000. You got us to just continue
That
our
was
stupid
inspiring.
ranting. That was perfect.
Right. No, you guys look like you're having an intellectual conversation. So
There's no intellect here.
yeah, it's I think when you start a book, you have an idea of what you're going to talk about, and I can't say that my idea really what I ended up with was definitely not something that I started with, but I did get my title from, and I'm looking at it. I have my book right here. I just got off of Amazon.
Nice. Throw it up there. Show it on.
I know.
Let's see it.
Can you
It's
send
beautiful.
me a paperback copy?
Don't do it.
Don't
He
do
always
it. Don't. Yeah,
asks.
he always asks for free stuff. He's cheap.
I know if you work for Barstool, I would, but just kidding.
Hey, soon enough.
Maybe one day. Maybe one day.
Yeah, but the woman who gave me the title is actually a renowned, she's really renowned in the sports world. John Wooden was her personal mentor. So,
Oh, nice.
The John Wooden?
the John Wooden, yeah. So she was the gymnastics coach at UCLA.
Wow.
That's fantastic.
Very nice. So you said there was a lot of political corporation stuff that made you want to write this book. What was one thing that led you, like, that was the one straw of the camel's back kind of thing that was like, oh shit, I want to write this book?
Yeah, I think, so I was in Washington, D.C. at the time. That's where I went to school. And it was, so I had been in Southern California, during COVID, and then the week I went back was the same week of George Floyd's death.
Mm-hmm.
And I just felt, as someone who's from a predominantly white community, who is from a very privileged background, but was also living in the middle of DC, in the middle of all these protests, and honestly, for the first time, was actively involved in these. And I remember being at my first protest and seeing my friends, black friends from school, who were at the front of lines with the police officers, and just getting battered, and they're sending all the white people to the front because we're white allies, and they didn't touch us. And then I think having to put my hands up and say, hands up, don't shoot, like actually having that register in my head was like, shit, I got to do something. And it has to be something that's not just gonna, it has to be lasting. It has to be something that's really written for my community that I grew up in, saying, hey, we have to make change. Yeah. So I would say that was the catalyst. And then if we want to go super politically, I just thought the entire 2016 administration that was voted in 2016, the entire Trump administration was, I think it's the worst representation of human beings that we've had as leadership, and saying that as an athlete, of having experienced like a lot of different leaders in my life. So.
Yeah, it's certainly, I can understand the motivation to want to make a difference, and in the fact that you had the skills, the knowledge, and the motivation to do it and write a book in under a year, essentially, right? I mean, that's the timeline. I think a lot of people probably felt what you felt for the same exact reasons, and this is the Simple Mind Sports Show, so we don't talk politics on this because we'll get to a certain point and we're just too dumb. But
Right.
Yeah, we know nothing.
we don't know enough to have a strong enough.
No, and I think that's the thing too, is even having I feel like become an adult in DC, right? There's like so much going on. So I saw 2 different administrations, but 3 different elections, and it's just like you can't even grasp it, like all that's going on politically. Like you have to have a focus somewhere. And I think that for me, it was like I try to make this book about, yes, it's about these national superheroes and international superheroes, but it's also so much about like the local superheroes, like the women. I only interviewed women, and it's like the women who, you know, are potentially like your mothers or your sisters or your daughters or whatever, who are really trying to make strides in their communities. And I think that's like where it all starts. So
Yeah,
Speaking of that-
and sorry, Ray, just to cut you off.
Yeah.
Just to give you an idea, I've actually lived in DC for 10 years. I was in Northeast DC for a minute, Arlington for a little bit. So I've been all around the city and seen all of what you're talking about. And it does, and we all grew up in New Hampshire. So that idea of like that, of the Mecca Center of DC being the capital, it does hit differently. And if you do experience kind of different parts of the city, there is, you know, a visceral kind of impact that you might not necessarily get if you're in a different part of the country. So I can certainly understand where you're coming from on that. And
yeah, it must have been a culture shock when you guys both went from both like white communities to go into DC, which is so diverse and everything like that. So it must have been crazy for you guys, like culture shock.
yeah, 100%. And like you don't even realize. I don't even realize. So I'm not going to generalize here, but I don't even realize some of the things that I do that have an effect on people. And so that was just like, especially going into a city that was, I mean, it's known as the chocolate city. Like it was predominantly brown, and now it's, you know, 51% white, I think. And so for me, it was like, there were things that I would think, or just like the way I would act, it would be like, it's not like out of question, but it made me like just rethink about, oh, maybe I should approach this differently. You know, so
yeah. Lesson here is if you're from a town, go travel, do other things, meet other cultures, do better things. Ray visited me down there, and we culture shocked the shit out of him. So that was
fun.
Don't go to Arlington though. You'll like trip over Trulies.
That's actually 100% true.
You talk about your coach a lot, Lindsay Homanson. Is that her name? Yeah. She seems to be like a big motivational part of your book. Like, what was about her that like inspired you? You know?
Yeah, she's so awesome. And at the time, she was only 2 years older than me. And so like to have that kind of maturity, to come into a program that's now in the top 10 consistently, like I just think that she is phenomenal. And I think something that she did, which almost every great championship coach does, not just in women's soccer, but I think everywhere, she like actually sees people for who they are, not for the players they are on the field. And she had that well-rounded approach that I just think that it's kind of like that superhero leadership where you don't just see an athlete for their skills, but really for who they are as a person and what they can bring to the team.
Is that what you like? Would you consider that kind of, so superheroes is obviously in the title. It's kind of the, you know, the metaphor that you use throughout the book and what these women are doing within their communities. On a kind of a grand scale, and even, you know, your coach at Georgetown D1, you know, she has a lot of influence within the community, within school, but just on like an everyday kind of personal level, did you reach those people too, or do you have like an idea of what that would look like, just as an insight into your book? You know, we got into the first chapter, which was a great kind of insight on what you guys are talking about, but I'm sure within the book there's like a you know, a good I don't know the word I'm looking for, example of like an everyday kind of superhero thing that you don't have to be changing the world, but just internally you can feel that way.
Totally. And I think that was my intention with this book too, is like to mesh where I'm at personally as like, you know, mid-20s, trying to figure out what I'm supposed to do in the world. Right. And then you interview people like these general counsel of Lockheed Martin, who runs, you know, is in charge of like $75 billion in assets.
Yeah.
And I can't even fathom that. And that's like my good friend's mom. And I'm like, okay, but like, how do I put my, you know, tie my shoes still and all this stuff. So for me, it was like, there's so many leadership books out there that are like, do all these things and you'll become a super successful leader. And it's just not realistic. And also like, I get bored really easily with those. So I tell a lot of personal stories, interview a lot of women, and I can think of one example particularly of my friend Dada, she played basketball at Georgetown. She's from the middle of Baltimore, and she would say on her walk to school, her walk, and then she took 3 buses to school. She would pass like 5 funeral homes and 5 liquor stores and like 1 grocery store. And it's just the food desert, and the fact that like it's like literally a death sentence. Like,
Jesus. Yeah.
Oh, I've seen The Wire. I get it.
Yeah.
I've seen it. That's one of my favorite shows. I get it.
No, and she's like, that show is so real. And then she's like, and then you go to the hilltop, which is like what Georgetown's called, and you kind of not like look down at Baltimore, but she was just like, for her, like she is considered a superhero in her community, and now she's like helping with the infrastructure and rebuilding communities there. And that's like one of the local superheroes I write about in the same chapter, that Jordan Weber is winning a gold medal, and then also speaking in front of Congress 7 times about, being assaulted by Larry Nassar. So I definitely try to make that connection.
Yeah. Sorry, Bill made me lose my train of thought. I forget what I'm sorry. Damn it, Bill.
I didn't even freaking do anything.
I had a good question too. Damn it, Bill. And by the way, Bill, books are, how would you describe them?
He has many books.
Go on right here, motherfucker. It's actually 2.
Okay, fine. Let me just look. So how about this actually is a great segue for the next question I had. 3 idiot men. So you talk about a lot of obviously women empowerment. You interviewed all women in this book. Certainly men have a place in that is not just, get a section of them out of that don't belong there out of there, which a lot of people, including myself, agree with. Where would we fit in? Certainly we want to support and be part of whatever is going on. So right. I think that there's a lot of dudes in that situation that just kind of, I don't want to say anything. I don't want to do anything. What do I do?
Yeah.
Have you ever put some thought into that?
Yeah. And it's such a hard thing. I don't know what another better word besides thing.
Yeah.
I'm not very articulate author.
No, but, it's a difficult situation to kind of quantitate and put a word around,
It is. And like in the middle of like all this cancel culture, especially as white men, like I have an older brother, I have a dad, all white, like my entire family lineage is all white men. And so I completely understand it. And I think that there's not one way to get involved. I think the way I've tried to approach trying to learn about how I can be better and understand my position in the world is like having personal conversations and knowing that not everyone is a one size fits all. Yeah. And so approaching each person like, hey, I really want to learn more about this. And some people might be like, like, fuck off. I don't want to talk to you about that.
Yeah.
Language.
You know what? Yeah. And you those people exist, and you know what, that's fine. But most women especially will be like, wow, thank you so much for asking, because no one's actually asked before, like what I truly, want to hear or say. And I just think being willing to listen is like the biggest thing that you can do. Yeah. And then the second thing I want to say is like, I 100% know that we cannot get anywhere in this world. Females cannot have equality without men being on their side. And I would not have achieved the success I did athletically or even in my role now if I did not have men believing in me. And so it's like we're all in the same boat. And I fully am aware and appreciative and support like men even wanting to get involved, or like what you guys do, and having me on your podcast and having this conversation.
Sure.
So
yeah. I come from a very political family. So, and by that I mean we drink a lot of beers and yell at each other, but in a very democratic way. So
my family does that too, but we're not political.
No, sure, yeah,
we're alcoholics.
But we've had these conversations like ongoing. We just, it's just important to talk about it, and that's why we're very open to having you on here. And I think what you're doing is really important and super cool. I would just say, I think Ray's got a question before we do that. If you wanted to get to more men, I know that this is not technically a superhero book, but if you did make it kind of a comic book setting, you'd gain more pictures. Are
Bill would be
easier
in.
than words.
I'm not a big comic book guy, but I love
I
picture
was like,
books.
what do you draw?
Yeah. No, you take some of those interviewees and make them a superhero and put it in a book that has pictures.
Coloring books.
Yeah.
Well,
Maybe
you can
pop up.
Photoshop anything. If our idiot friend Ray down here could
I
Photoshop
can do
my
anything.
face on freaking any picture, I mean, you can do it.
Gosh, I was gonna send Bill some crayons.
Oh, that'd be perfect.
No, actually,
It goes to me. It goes to me, please.
raise the crayon guy. But just an idea. Put it in the back of your head. If this blows up and you're looking for like a re-release, do a
Yeah.
comic book fashion. You probably
Yeah.
might gain some new fans.
I'm gonna do a children's book, so I'll send that your way.
I heard they sell. Julian Edelman
That's my
had
reading
one.
level, so perfect.
Yeah, right.
So you talked to a lot of great women. So my biggest question for you right now is, you could go to dinner. You could bring one guest, dead or alive. Who would you want to
Such
bring?
a good question. I hate that question because I want to party, but
Nice.
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 oh my gosh,
It's a really tough one. Let's let you think for 30 seconds. We'll make Ray and Bill answer because these should be great.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Women?
And we'll come back to you.
No, anyone, you dumbass.
Oh,
Anybody who's a
Babe
positive.
Ruth. You said you want to party.
I
I'm down to
think it's
party.
a dream.
Babe Ruth.
Yeah, no,
Ooh,
a drunk
Rip
womanizer.
Stogies.
That's a good one to throw on the list.
Sorry.
Mm.
Ray's
That'd
gonna
be-
pick someone fictional.
Probably a wrestler.
Ooh, that'd be fun. Oh, the Ultimate Warrior. That'd be fun.
Ultimate Warriors.
Ultimate
Rays.
Warrior.
Okay,
Cool.
now we're
Cool.
back to you,
Okay.
Marina. Do you have one?
So and obviously I love sports like so much, men's and women's. But my favorite athlete who I've always looked up to is Lindsey Vonn.
Mm.
So I think I'd want to go to dinner with her because I feel like we'd get along. So we talk about sports, and I just don't understand the psyche of someone who like goes 95 miles an hour down a hill. Like
Yeah.
like on ice, and I've had bad knee injuries, and she's shredded her knees and still come back.
That skiing fascinates me. That like slalom stuff that she does. You hit them slaloms as fast as you can. Oh my god.
Well, because you're dig-toed. That's why.
Yeah.
You're
And
dig-toed.
also-
So going down a mountain, you could.
I
you
can
always
still
be
do it,
beaten.
you fuck. I can still go down a
No.
mountain.
No, it's not pigeon.
No, it's
Thank you. I thought it was called pigeon toed.
I'm pigeon.
I call it dig. I
You
call
are?
it dig. Oh, you're.
Ooh,
Oh,
we keep connecting. We just keep
Apparently,
connecting.
you're faster if you're pigeon, but I'm not very fast. So
I feel like
See,
your ankles
I'm
would
fast.
be sore by working harder to keep
Yeah,
them
you'd
straight.
work way harder.
No, it just gives you terrible posture, and your back always hurts. Your lower back. You just
And you
feel like
become
an
an
old.
alcoholic and drug addict.
That's a good
Yeah.
pick.
I got
I think.
nothing on that.
Yeah, I like the Lindsey Vonn pick.
I
I'm
know,
gonna.
and he flexed on Tiger Woods, so
Yeah, true that.
Yeah.
Yeah, come on.
Just to add to it, I didn't pick mine, so I'm just going to throw Hitler in the ring just to keep it saucy. We can put him in a pressure cooker. Really
Yeah.
ask some really deep questions. See where
Wow.
where his head was at.
Ooh, that took a dark turn.
That took a real dark turn.
No. You have to
Yeah,
look
that
at
took
it
a
from
dark
my
turn.
point of view. You want to ask the questions to really get this. No one really got to, he never went to jail. No one really got to understand. You never got a Ted Kaczynski.
But people are gonna see you at dinner with
Dinner
Hitler.
with Hitler. See, you just
Then it
fucked
brings your
yourself.
fuck. Yeah,
I
you're
can
fucked.
talk. I can
Are
talk
you
my
trying
way
to
out of it.
ruin our show before we even get famous? Because this is how you do it.
I think you are. All right, back to Marino. Ray.
Yeah, Marina, you had like you said, you had a bad knee injury. You had it fused with a what was it, from a cadaver?
yeah.
Yeah. So, but
no.
that was like your last year before soccer, and you came back as a graduate player. What made you want to come back and just finish your career?
Yeah, it's so funny because so I blew up my knee in the Big East Championships. And like 12 minutes in, and I was like so pissed that I did it. And I tried to like run back on the field, and just my knee just collapsed.
Oh.
But yeah, I blew out my ACL, MCL, meniscus, who like got caught in the turf when I was cutting. And I think that was horrible, but I've seen so many women come back from knee injuries. I was like, all right. And so many of my teammates, I was like, all right, I'm going to do this. I had 8 months until the next season. So I was like, great, I'm going to try and pull an Adrian Peterson. Like literally that was in my head, but like that doesn't work with my body and he's just a freak.
He rushed for 2,100 yards.
So, yeah. So then I tried to come back super fast. I had a cadaver graft, and you can use like your hamstring, your knee patella, or a cadaver. So I used a cadaver because I wanted like a cute little scar, and it popped right off. So In practice, but I was 4 games into the I'd only played 4 games in the season, and after your 5th game, you're ineligible to redshirt. So it was kind of like really, really good luck. So that year just kind of rehabbed and tried to figure it out. And then I was on the field and we were playing, like, they were ranked number 7 in the country, Virginia Tech at the time. And I was on the field, like, shagging balls, because that's what you do when you're injured. You're, like, useless. And so
were you shagging balls in a wheelchair?
No, like hopping around, and my coach would
what assholes?
I know, my coach would scream at me like, "You're more useless than boobs on a boy." Like, just
Ray's got boobs.
Yeah, there it is.
Ray's got boobs.
So anyways, I was like, oh my God, like, you can't, I mean, I'm a competitor at heart. So I was like, I'm coming back, and if I tear it a 3rd time, whatever. So came back, and then that year we went to the Final Four. But
speaking of Georgetown, they've been in the news lately with the college admission scandal. As a D1 athlete, how do you feel about that? Like, all these famous rich kids pretty much getting, like, written off, saying they're playing, like, sailing or rowing or tennis and getting, like, scholarships to go to school. And Georgetown's one of them.
The USC just did the same thing. Come on.
She went to Georgetown. That's what I'm saying.
Playing sailing is a great
Playing sailing. Shut up,
sailing.
assholes. I was trying to think of all the stuff. I watched the documentary on Netflix. I was trying to figure out what all the sports were.
Ooh, I watch documentaries.
And unfortunately, I know some of them personally. We definitely know the tennis coach, and it's really disheartening, especially for my friends who actually played tennis there. And they're just, and my coach was really close to the tennis coach, and so you're just kind of like, you know, you see a different side of people that you're like, wow, this is, like, just really upsetting that you're actually like this. I think it's also just, like, really pathetic. It's so funny because I always thought that, you know, there's the athlete stereotype that, like, you're dumber if you play a sport and you get into college for a sport. But I've never seen, especially at Georgetown, like, I've had teammates doing organic chemistry who are now, like, neurosurgeons.
Well, I'll raise you, Allen Iverson.
I know, but he only was there 2 years.
After he got out of jail.
Does he have a degree?
No, he doesn't. I don't think so.
I don't think so either.
Yeah,
I don't think so either.
Yeah.
Practice? Please?
I know.
You're also, it's also, sorry to interrupt you, Marina, but, like, you're, you know, this isn't to degrade women's soccer by any means, but there's certainly a more, especially now in Everson's day and age, Georgetown basketball was, like, you know, that's what it was. And there's just
Morning, Dikembe, all those guys were.
You know, there's just less emphasis on sports that don't bring that attention, and money obviously is the key thing. So in a university like Georgetown, in a sport that is not centered around the income or the money, you have to be intellectually and educationally able to deal with the university, even if the basketball players, for example, necessarily are not. Even though I don't know if that's true now, but obviously Allen Iverson's a good example of it being true, which is true everywhere.
No, 100%. And I think that, like, happens so much in places not in the sports environment. You know, like, teachers are the hardest working people in our country, and they don't get paid anything. But yet they literally our country, like, rides on their success.
And it keeps getting worse day by day, which is a conversation for another day, but we've taken up a lot of your time. We're going to end on some unfortunate baseball questions for you, and then we'll end on your book again, because we have to get this in as a SoCal girl and fan. The Angels are abysmal. They are an embarrassment to the league. People don't even know that they have a team. They're most famous for a movie that was mediocre at best. I summed up all of our questions we had in one just to get your response.
Okay, so my favorite player was Howie Kendrick.
I love that the bar is set at Howie Kendrick.
In 2019, he signs a 1-year contract with the Washington Nationals, the worst team in the league.
World Series. What are you talking about? They went to playoffs.
World Series, and they beat the Dodgers, and I was at the game.
Yeah, he was great.
He was MVP, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was great. Went to one of those playoff games. He was awesome.
That's all I have to say.
It's just, yeah, you let go of Albert Pujols, which is a low class. The Angels just aggravate me. They just aggravate me. It's like, how would you describe your soul as a sports fan, being from Southern California, where no one cares about sports, and the Angels are just so, I don't know, bad.
What they did to
Ambivalent.
Pujols was a joke. I mean, you're talking about a first ballot Hall of Famer, and you DFA him in his last hoorah. You look at all the famous players lately: Rivera, Jeter, Ortiz. All these guys got send off tours.
All right, Bill. Sorry, Marina. I'll mute him. It's fine. He's going to go off on some crazy
I want to
baseball
talk
tyrant.
about the Red Sox too. Who's your favorite Red Sox of all time? Red Sox.
Pedro Martinez, easy.
Really?
Wait, sorry, I didn't hear our favorite Red Sox player of all time. Yeah, Pedro's up there. Maybe Nomar. He was in our youth.
I love Manny.
Manny was great.
Manny's great.
No one could touch Howie Kendricks, but
I know. Tim Salmon was great.
Okay, decent.
Jim Edmonds back in the day.
How has Trout not been mentioned at this point? He's one of possibly the greatest baseball player.
And that's
because
why
they haven't made the playoffs in his 11-year career, and they're just wasting him away.
Because I wrote a book on superheroes, and like the biggest thing of success for a superhero is like how you make your team good.
Yeah.
So is he not a superhero?
Well, Trout's a loser. He ain't no superhero then.
He's a villain.
Anything with their team. Maybe it's the scouts though.
Or Joe Madden. Could be.
Yeah. Okay, last question then. Speaking. Okay. Yeah. Speaking of superheroes and what makes a superhero, well, this has been a question that has been burning in Simple Mind Sports Show HQ for a while now. Is Batman a superhero? Give it some thought.
Rich kid in a Halloween costume.
God damn it, Bill. You can't peer pressure her to change her.
I knew I should have kept him muted.
We've had some connections here. I'm just trying to swear my way.
Honestly, I think that's pretty true.
Oh,
I think Peter Parker's a superhero.
God.
Dude.
Well, no shit. He fucking does fucking webs.
Batman, I think without all the resources, like, I feel like he should be because of all the resources he has.
He's rich.
Yeah.
Then who's your favorite superhero then?
The women that I write about.
Nice. Great segue. Tell us where to find your book. Tell everybody where to find your book. All of the girls listening are going to be pitching and say Wonder Woman, but that's fine. So just
Captain Marvel.
Wonder Woman's great. I still think that they don't fully get to the potential of like what a woman can do. And
a lot of legs.
I didn't really like the last one. I think I thought it was kind of lame.
1984. I don't know. Yeah, I heard it was terrible.
Yeah. I don't know. It's the same. It's the same story. She fell in love with the guy, and then she's like lost.
I never watched it.
Oh, yeah. Well.
Yeah, it's a little bit of the same story. Okay, Marina, thank you so much for joining us. Tell us where to find your book, what to expect. We will get everybody on that, and the floor is yours.
Thank you. You can find it on Amazon. I'm only selling it on Amazon because they're doing all the work to print and bind it. And
nice.
Oh wow.
Yeah, no, it's really cool. So Becoming a Superhero by Marina Paul. And yeah.
Awesome. So check it out on Amazon. We'll put the link up there. We'll throw it on the social media. We'll let you know when it's all airing. We appreciate you joining us and dealing with our buffoonery.
Yep.
Good luck with everything moving forward. Hopefully Georgetown gets out of the news. And Batman is definitely a superhero.
We won 3 Big East championships this year, so already. So thank you.
Not bad.
COVID year.
COVID year, yeah.
Okay, Marina. Thanks. Go Angels. See you later.
Oh my gosh. Appreciate you guys. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.
She couldn't get off fast enough, Bill.
Yeah, nice job, Bill.
No, that's fine.
All the connections that you were doing.
She lost me in the beginning. Came back.
No. You were... Look, first of all, everyone loses. We lose you in the beginning. Every single show.
Yeah, but I rally.
I don't understand why we wait for him to come on for interviews.
He was on before the interview.
No. I'm saying he does nothing for the interviews. Why do we wait for him?
We didn't wait for him.
No, I'm saying we moved the times for Bill because
He's part of the show. What do you want? This is what we have to deal with. This is
we could get a cardboard cutout of him and just have him sit there.
Just tell me when I'm on.
The cardboard cutout of Bill would just be cardboard kind of roughly burnt from cigarette ash.
God forbid I smoke cigarettes. Leave me alone.
God forbid. I like Marina. She's got gumption. She knows what she wants, even if she doesn't fit your political mold, listeners. She's fighting for something, which you're not. You're just sitting on the couch being an asshole listening to us, like Bill.
I like the language.
Yeah, no, she's great. Yeah, she's not afraid to
Came out
mix it up.
firing.
She came out fire. Bill even said language. Woo.
Oh, she
After
thought I
Bill
was
dropped motherfucker twice.
That was the joke, Rich.
No, I got the joke, Bill. I got the joke. Your jokes are fucking stellar.
Thank you.